Maggie, thank you very much for your time. Just remind our followers, who are you, what's your history, where are you, and what do you do?
So my name is Maggie Alphonsi. I am a former England women's rugby player, represented my country 74 times, and I am a broadcaster now, so I work on TV talking about rugby, men's and women's rugby, and I'm here today to talk about the food that's going to be presented in the East Stand for Twickenham Stadium.
It's Fashion Month globally. Diet more so is so important for women than ever. We've got the morbid obese debate, we've got the inspirational athletes, we've got plus size, and talk us through some of the tips that you can give us for us females.
Yeah, so my biggest tip is really, whenever you eat, try and make sure you have a real balanced diet. You know, it's important to get your veg in and your fruit in, but also your carbs as well and your protein. So look, I'm a vegetarian, I'll put that out there. So I have to be quite smart about where I'm getting my protein from. So, for me, it's very much around eggs and cheese. But I also get a good balance between my vegetables and my carbohydrates. So I always encourage people to be quite balanced with what they eat. But also don't shy away from eating some of the unhealthy stuff, because for some reason I think we always think I shouldn't eat fat, and actually fat isn't bad for you. It's about the quantity and how much you have of it. So I try and make sure I have a balanced meal, a balanced week in terms of what I'm eating. And that's same with what I drink as well. So I try and so if you're going to drink alcohol, look, people out there, I know you drink alcohol, but it's also, again, make sure you get a balance. Be aware of how much you're drinking over the period of the week, because certain alcohol can obviously be more carbohydrate based, which means that you're going to put on a bit more calories. But it's having a balance, and drinking lots of water. Water is key.
Body confidence. Historically, have you had an issue? I mean, you look amazing. When I looked at you, I was like, wow.
So
was that an issue for you, especially in rugby?
Yeah. So growing up, very much I was kind of this size and shape. I was 5'3", 73 kg at quite a young age. I was quite big and strong.
Yeah.
And the biggest challenge you get as a young lady is that when you go swimming or when you're having to wear something which is probably a little bit more figure hugging, you feel quite conscious of what your body looks like in comparison to the other girls in your class. So that was really quite challenging when I was young. But I think what was great for me is that I found rugby. I found a sport that actually my size, my shape, my characteristics actually fitted really well for the sport and what you need to do on the field. So I became confident.
Yeah.
So I became confident instead of feeling worried about what my body and how it looks like. I actually started to really appreciate it, love it, and own it.
Yes.
So that's what's great about a rugby team. There's so many different sizes and shapes. We vary from the prop, the forward, to all the way down to a scrum half, a full back who are slightly smaller, slightly leaner.
Yep.
And that's okay. It's okay to be at either size, because actually there's a position for you on the field. So I've learned to really love my body, and actually I love the fact that different sizes and shapes have their strengths.
Rugby, for girls that want to sort of take it up, feel intimidated that it's not quite so feminine. Is that a fair thing or an unfair thing to say?
I think the challenge we've had is that all we've seen on TV has always been men's rugby.
Yeah.
So we're always naturally believing that the game is very blokish and it's all about being masculine and testosterone and all that. It's all about that. And actually, the game is a game. It's not about a gender. I see the sport as being very much genderless and colourless in the fact that anyone can play it if they want to play it.
Yeah.
And actually, when women play, you're playing against other women, and the reality is, I don't say it's feminine or masculine. I say actually, you're playing a sport with some really key values and character building. So for me, when I played the sport, actually what I loved about it was the fact that it allowed me to be free, which I never had been before. It also helped with my discipline, my respect, being able to socialise with people, because I was quite shy, especially the fact that I was so worried about my body. So when I say to women or girls about the sport, I say, look, get into the sport, because actually it will help your character, it'll help your confidence, and it's not about being masculine or so on. Actually, you're going to be free.
Yeah.
You can run as fast as you want, you can tackle or hit someone as hard as you want, but actually at the end of it, we're all going to be friends. So it's not about a gender, it's about actually enjoying the game and enjoying the sport. So I'd say any young girls out there, try it out, give it a go, because I guarantee you'd absolutely love it.
I'm driving a lot of supercars and luxury cars. Any particular car that kind of represents your personality?
Yeah, so I'm going to go down the whole Land Rover, Range Rover. That's what I drive at the moment, and I absolutely love it. I've always been a big car person. I think it's obviously making sure that it's environmentally friendly, so that's quite key. But I love big cars. I think I love the fact that I think maybe it's because it was similar when I was a player. I was the small, short person, and I always felt like I was overpowered by some of the bigger characters.
Yes.
I guess when you have a car, it's an extension of yourself. So for me, I like the big cars. I like the power. I like the pace that they present. But also, I just like the fact that it is an element of you, isn't it? So when you come into my car, I think you see a part of me as well. I keep it clean. I keep it smelling nice, and I make sure that it's always looking professional. So I love my big cars.
And finally, we're men's style fashion. How do you like your men dressed?
Do you know what? I love seeing the guys looking smart and professional. You know, people think when you see the rugby boys, they're on the pitch, they get muddy, they look dirty, they're messy. And then after, when you see the hospitality suite, they're dressed up, they look the part, they look business, they look like they can go and present to any corporate company. And that's how I like to see the guys, especially after the game. It's all about actually looking smart, looking professional, looking ready to present and actually sell the sport and sell the characteristics of our game. So yeah, I like to see the men looking smart and stylish, and you do see that in the crowd as well. They all look stylish in a different way.
Well, thank you very much.